Something that I probably shouldn't be telling you guys. They probably frown against, but it helped me. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Janae if you're new, and welcome to a new video. I make content all about wellness centered around my own weight loss surgery journey, fitness and nutrition, and if any of that interests you, then I hope you subscribe. So today's video is another subby request. She's getting ready for her weight loss surgery and wanted to know all about protein products I recommended, tips and tricks on how you can up your protein and water intake. So I got you all. So let's talk about protein. Protein is one of the major macronutrients that you need along with fat and carbs. I'm not sure about you, but for my bariatric program, we definitely had different levels of the macronutrients that we had to stick to, which I talked in great detail in my pre and post liquid diet video. I'll go ahead and link it in the cards above. As far as protein, we had to hit a minimum of 60 grams of protein while on this liquid diet, and period. That's our minimum period. If you're female, and 70 if you're a male, I believe. So preparing for your liquid diet. So you're getting ready for your liquid diet, you're buying up all of the different products that you're gonna be using, and you're just trying to make sure that you're prepared and all of that good stuff, right? Wrong. Don't do that. Before you do that, listen to this video. Your taste buds might change. So me, for instance, I had to do my liquid diet for a month long. So for those first 2 weeks before my surgery, I was able to drink any and everything. But afterwards, things were starting to get a little tricky. One, your taste buds might change. So you don't want to overly stock up on your protein shakes because you might not like them after surgery, or it just might not agree with you after surgery. I know a lot of people on my TikTok, which if you're not following my TikTok, go ahead and follow me. We have a lot of conversations over there. I know a lot of people on my TikTok said they're not lactose intolerant, but something about the milk-based protein products did not agree with them after weight loss surgery. That's something to consider. So you don't want to overly stock on this journey. This wasn't an issue for me. I didn't have too much of a taste buds change. What I suffered from was just being sick and tired of the liquid diet, period. This is where, you know, you need a little variation in it. You need something else to get you through. You can't just keep drinking the same protein shakes. And that was my issue. So let me show you guys some of my favorite protein shakes that I did and some different options, whether you are milk-based, whether you can't do milk products. Now, I don't have any plant-based or soy or any type of recommendations like that, but I'm just gonna show you the different things that Here are the different milk options that I did on the liquid diet. So I did a lot of Quest protein shakes, especially the salted caramel ones. These have 30 grams of protein in it, only 3 grams of fat and 3 grams of carbs, 1 gram of sugar. I mostly use this to make protein decaf coffees. Same thing with Premier Proteins. This is my absolute fave. I've done these for years. Premier Protein is 160 calories. Again, 30 grams of protein, 3 grams of fat, 4 carbs, 1 gram of sugar. I do these with my coffees, with my teas to just drink. They have so many different flavors. I pretty much try them all except for the chocolate-based ones, but I'm just not a big chocolate drinking fan. These right here are my new #1 faves. These protein shakes from Fairlife are so good. Let's start off with these. They have 26 grams of protein, 170 calories, 4.5 grams of fat, 7 grams of carbs, 6 sugars. And then for the elite ones, you have 42 grams of protein, 230 calories, 3.5 grams of fat, 8 carbs, 7 sugars. And you may want to be careful with drinking these because these have more fat, more sugar, more carbs than the other ones do. Depending on what requirements your bariatric program gives you, like I talked about in the pre and post liquid diet, we could only do our 60 grams of protein, 5 grams of fat, 5 grams of sugar, and 20 grams of carbs. The protein shakes over there will knock me out of the fat and the sugar category real quick if you're doing too many per day. So on the liquid diet, I didn't do too many of the Fairlife ones. I mostly stuck with the Premier Protein and some other products that I'm about to show you guys, but those are still good options to have. Here are some more products that I did on the liquid diet. These are all water-based protein powders. So let's start in with the clear. These ones you can find off of Amazon. I'll have it linked down below. They are 110 calories, 25 grams of protein, 1 gram of carbs, no fat. And then the Isopure. I pretty much tried a lot of the flavors of the Isopure. Isopure is 90 calories, 20 grams of protein, 2 carbs, 1 sugar, 0 fat. And then with both of those, I would add in some collagen. You can pick whatever collagen you want. Now the water-based protein options are a really good option if you're like lactose intolerant or your stomach is not really tolerating the milk-based protein powders, or you just want to switch things up and you're tired of drinking milk-based protein shakes. What I don't recommend, hear me when I say this, unless your taste buds like it, but what I don't recommend is buying the protein waters, the ones that are already pre-made. I've tried them all and they all are disgusting. They all have a chalky aftertaste. That is not going to be the same deal with those powders. The bottled ones is disgusting. So please hear me when I say this. Don't waste your money. Buy the powder, not the bottle. But this is another thing that you can use to get your protein in, and this is just bone broth. I get this from Costco. 1 serving has 9 grams of protein in it. Is that you can make popsicles out of these. Now I know a lot of people do the sugar-free popsicles that you can buy from the store, but why not kill 2 birds with 1 stone? You can get your protein in by making your own popsicles at home, which I did a TikTok video on and I'll insert it right here. And I'll also link the silicone tray that I use below in the description box. It was super easy to make. I just made it like I would just to drink, poured it in a thing, popped it in the freezer, and there you go. I had a protein icicle. Let's talk a little bit more about after surgery. You're fresh out of surgery. You still have 2 weeks left on your liquid diet and you're having a hard time just getting your fluid in. I mean, you're tired, you're sleepy, you just don't want to drink anything. That was me. I didn't have a problem when it came to nausea and vomiting. I was just tired, and they had us make sure we were tracking every hour how many ounces we were getting in and making sure that we got, I think it was like 4 or 6 ounces every hour. I mean, it was ridiculous. It was for a purpose, but ridiculous. So getting in my fluids was hard for me. They wanted us to hit at least 64 ounces of fluid, period, between water, protein shake, soup, ices, whatever the case may be. Mainly the focus seems to be getting your protein in. So right after surgery, I stuck with this one. Now I know this one is higher in fat and higher in sugar like I stated, but it has 42 grams of protein in it. Now people were on my case talking about your body can absorb 42 grams of protein in an hour. It's all gonna go to waste. Throw that information in the trash, because you're not gonna even be able to drink this whole bottle in an hour. For some of you, you might not even be able to finish this in a day. Like, some people really do have issues with getting their fluids in. So I took my time with drinking this entire bottle. It's only 14 ounces. So I believe I was doing 6 ounces of fluid every hour or something like that, or maybe it was even 4. So I'm spreading this out over a couple of hours. Then once I was finished with that, or like just in between drinking that, I would go ahead and make me another 16 ounces using this. This is 20 grams of protein like I mentioned earlier. So now you have above your 60 ounces of protein right there. So I would drink my protein shake. I would have my flavored water protein shake. I would have my bone broth. So I'm getting my protein in, and now I'm getting my fluids in. Now for the rest of the day, I can focus on getting just whatever type of fluids in to get me up to the 64 ounces of fluid. Talking about protein, let's dive into water, which is and still is the problem area in my weight loss surgery journey. As I started to go through the food stages, my requirements for water has increased. I definitely needed to make sure now it's 64 ounces of plain water, period. But I still have a hard time with just getting plain water in. I have to drink it with some type of flavoring in it, which never was the case for me. I mean, if you've been following me for a long time, then you know I did a gallon of water a day challenges. Like, I used to be able to drink a lot of water, but now that is just not the case for me, and I definitely can't drink it plain anymore. So here's some things that I've done from the very beginning to help me increase my water intake. Like I said, I killed 2 birds with 1 stone, and I definitely made sure I drank my protein water-based shakes. This allowed me to, 1, get my protein in, but 2, get my water in. Mio and Crystal Light. Like, I know a lot of people aren't a fan of this because of like the artificial flavor and blah, 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 blah. I don't care. I needed to rely on this, and I still do, to get my water in. It's something about the flavoring for me that helps me to be able to drink my water. Here's something that I probably shouldn't be telling you guys. They probably frown against, but it helped me. So for my weight loss clinic, I'm pretty sure they told us not to drink out of a straw like 6 months post-op or something like that, or you probably won't be able to do it, something like that. I started drinking out of a straw 2 weeks post-op. Yes, you heard me right, 2 weeks post-op, and that's what helped me get my water in. But yeah, ever since I started drinking out of a straw, it has been so much easier to get my water intake in. I drink my water out of my iron flask or my Stanley cups. What I like about water bottles and water cups period is the fact that it keeps my water cold, which I am not a room temperature girly. I like my water ice cold, and I like to be able to sip on it ice cold all day. So I like insulated water cups like these. I like water cups that are convenient, that I can take on the go with me. I like cups that are big, cups that are small. I like different variations, cups that I can bring to the gym, cups that I can have around the house, cups that I can have in the car. Like, that's just me. So here are some examples of the water bottles that I like to have. These are my 3 iron flasks. I have a coupon code with Iron Flash. You can use code Janae to get 10% off. You can also find these on Amazon as well, which will be linked down in the description. This is my gallon one, which is pretty dusty because I can't even get a gallon in anymore. So I haven't used this in quite a while. This is my 64 ounce one. This is the one that I take to the gym with me because surprisingly, when I'm at the gym, especially if I'm there for like an hour or 2, I can drink this whole thing. Then this is the one that I use for work most of the time. If it's going to be a gym class type of thing, this is 24 ounces. I also have 2 Stanley cups. These are 40 ounces. This is mostly used in the house. And then I have this skinnier one, which I actually got from Walmart. This is also 24 ounces, but what I like about this is that it's easy to hold and grab. It's skinnier. So this is my Aaron's water bottle. Speaking of Aaron's, here is another important thing that you guys need to know while trying to increase your water intake. Have a water bottle with you everywhere you go. Everywhere you go, which is why I bought that skinnier one for my errands. There has been countless amount of times that I leave the house and thinking that it's gonna be a short trip, and it ends up being longer than I expected. Or even if it is a short trip, I end up being thirsty. It's something about leaving the house and walking around somewhere, it makes me thirsty and I don't have anything to drink, and I'm buying water unnecessarily, or by the time I finally get to buy the water, I'm already on my way home and I spent an hour or 2 outside the house not drinking water. So just remember these key things. Have some type of water source with you when you're leaving the house. You can also do things like water infusions, you know, putting things into your water like fruit and vegetables to flavor up your water. I actually have a 7 recipe video on this. I'll link in the cards above as well. Whatever you can do to spice up your water so that you can drink it and get it in, do that. Because something that I've learned is that when I don't get my water in, I get more constipated. And I have a video on bowel movement. It's gonna be in the cards above. But I notice when I don't get my water in, I get more constipated. Now that I'm almost 8 months post-op, I can get 64 ounces, no problem. But I am trying to shoot for 96 ounces. On average, when I'm really like getting it and doing it, I can hit about 80. I can do 2 of my Stanley cups. But on the weekends, to be honest, sometimes I don't even get 64 ounces of water in. Like, I don't know what it is about the weekends, but I can't drink a lot of water on the weekends. I don't know. I don't know what that's about. And so every time I notice I lacked in water, my constipation is through the roof. And also, hint, hint, my scale isn't moving. I start to stall. I'm not losing weight when I'm not getting my water in. And I realized that as soon as I started being more consistent with drinking water, one, and up in my water, two, the weight started to fall off again. Not a doctor, not a registered dietitian yet, so I can't tell you the correlation with that, but I can tell you that that is just what I observed with my body. So that is it, you guys. That is everything on how to get your protein in and get your water in those beginning stages right after having weight loss surgery. Let me know in the comments below if you want me to do a separate video on protein intake once you get to the solid food stages and you're a couple more months in after your weight loss surgery, because people still have a hard time getting their protein intake when they're eating it, which again, I don't have an issue with doing it. So if you want any tips on how to actually eat and not rely on protein shakes and drinks, let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that bell icon. That way you're notified every single time I post a new video. Make sure you're following me on my Instagram and my TikTok. This is where you'll get the information in the moment, where you can join the conversations that we're having, and where you can connect with me on a day-to-day basis. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.